we go. Hey guys, first day of Rock on the Range, and I'm sitting here with Apocalyptica. I'd say your names other than Frankie's, but I know I'd butcher them. You're Mika, right?
Yeah, cool.
How do you say your name? See, I'd have butchered that. Let's start out talking about the new album. A little bit behind Shadowmaker. What's the inspiration behind it? What are you hoping to accomplish with this one?
I think the main thing for us when we started to make this album was that the plan started already like 5 years ago. We were doing
it's been 5 years. That's a long time.
Exactly. We did Worlds Collide and 7th Symphony kind of back to back and toured a lot with them. And then we kind of realized that if we're going to go on that kind of a tube, that if we don't break that pattern, then we just end up doing an album where we repeat ourselves. And that was kind of a frightening thought for us, and we didn't want to do it. So we decided that after those two albums, we're going to have a tiny bit of a break, take a breath of fresh air, and kind of like see ourselves again new. That we don't have a pressure to do anything that people accept us to do, that everything that comes from within the band. And that's exactly then what happened. So we did lots of stuff in between. Actually, we released one live album which was full all new Apocalyptica music, but done with the orchestra, so that was a big thing. We did another big cooperation with another orchestra, so we kind of got to do this more artistic, more left field type of stuff that we kind of do when we are doing our normal Apocalyptica routine. So now when going on the studio making Shadowmaker, we had a clean table, empty table, where there was nothing, and we started to build it from the scratch, and just based on our passion, how we want to present our music nowadays.
Other than the obvious addition of Frankie here, how do you think this album differs from 7th Symphony? Sonically, it's very similar. Do you think there's big variety to it?
The kind of the concept is so much more clarified, at least for ourselves. And the reason why we wanted to choose the guy, why we finally found Frankie, was that we did so many vocal collaborations back in throughout the career. We have done so much, and for even ourselves, sometimes it was difficult to find the kind of symphonical continuity of the songs, how we combine our instrumental work, working with different vocalists, and it was an interesting mixture of tracks and always like this, but this time we felt that we want to tell a some story, like something totally concentrating into our band, into the very soul of Apocalyptica, and not to kind of hassle with name dropping and stuff like that, which always has been amazing. Like this possibilities of working with great guys and female singers. It has been teaching for definitely lots for us. But we thought that it's just natural thing that we find an own voice for Apocalyptica. We can concentrate for making music and for making music we love.
Now, adding Frankie, was that just so that there was a consistency in the vocals? And Frankie, tell me how it's been for you now that you're here.
I mean, just to hear that, it's an honor. You know what I mean? There's some big shoes to fill. And not only with the guys that are on record, but also their touring guys. This guy Tipe, who was an amazing vocalist, which I had to do a little homework before I got the gig. There's a lot of material, a lot of different styles, a lot of genres to cover, and luckily my career has been very, very interesting to say the least. So I was prepared for this kind of gig.
You've eased right into it. Personally, I'm thinking that the vocals, now that it's going to be one voice, I think it's going to take you guys so much further.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, man. Your set today was awesome.
Let's talk. I would even add still that we were suffering for the fact that we had great songs in radios, but we were never able to perform those tracks to the audience as they should be, with a voice that people are familiar with. So that was a very, very important element for us, that we find a singer who does the album but who tours everything with us everywhere, so that the concept is clear.
I think it's kind of funny to me to this day. Sometimes if I turn somebody on to you, whenever they're like, "That's cellos?" Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the first album, you attacked everything from the drum lines to the guitar solos, just insane. Let's talk a little bit about the evolution of the band. Like I say, in the beginning, you handled everything, added Miko at a certain point, and now a permanent vocalist. Is there still more evolution coming, or do you think you've reached where you want to be?
I don't think we ever reach where or there's no such a thing that it would stop. I think that our band's passion is to develop and to go further and to kind of like take next steps wherever we go and whatever kind of stuff we do. And that is the, I think, the very core essence of our band, to develop ourselves.
Let's talk a little bit about the current tour. How's it going?
It's going great. Actually, this is the first date of our North American tour. We start a headline tour tomorrow.
Okay.
And that's going to take us to the States for about 4 weeks.
Yeah, I believe tomorrow you guys are heading to Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm from, actually.
yeah.
So
Cool.
I'm glad I'm catching you today, because I'm going to miss you tomorrow.
But it's going great. The tour's been great. Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about the new video for Cold Blood? Inspiration behind the song, and how was the video? How was it doing a video?
Actually, we decided to still go with the same director, Lisa Mann from Canada, who did like 5 previous.
Yeah, I was going to say you've worked with her in the past a lot, right?
The cooperation started already with the great track I Don't Care, and we kind of fell in love with the way she sees our music. So there has been the continuity throughout the 7th Symphony and even to the Cold Blood. Visually, I think it's giving you ideas. We like to think our music, especially when it was instrumental, that we create a world. Music has to give the listener the opportunity to travel somewhere. At least that's how I listen to music. It is an escape from this earth, and like it's interesting to try to create music, whether it be in Cold Blood, in vocals, or some other instrumental tracks, but we try to capture a soul and leave it like kind of, it's a riddle for the listener trying to find it somewhere inside what we meant. And therefore, one of the most fascinating things also about Apocalyptica is that we are basically free to do so many different kinds of songs, so to flirt with so many different kind of music styles, and there is nothing basically nothing that restricts. For example, for this album, we were developing the rhythmical elements even more towards like electric and this kind of stuff, just because we felt that we didn't flirt with that style yet, like techno. There is a song called Riot Lights, which is first time like some heavy metal cello mayhem techno metal.
Now, when you guys do the videos, since you've worked with her so many times, do you get to collaborate on the ideas, or does she kind of come to you with a realized vision? Do you guys have input?
Yeah, with this particular video, we gave her sort of a concept. We wanted it to be very strongly connected to album artwork, like it was on the previous album as well. 7 Symphony videos, we had an idea that it's a trilogy. We wanted to do 3 videos which are strongly connected together, and still they are supporting the album artwork. And now with this Cold Blood video, we sent her the whole album artwork, and we kind of gave the same kind of impressions as we were using when we created the album artwork. We said these certain scenes from Black Swan, the movie, like to get these visual images, but that's, we love her as an artist, and she is an artist. We want to get her input. We don't want to restrict her. We give her a loose frame, stay into this one, include these elements, and then it's all up to her.
I know that we got to wrap up here pretty soon, so let me hit you with a couple rapid fire ones, and these ones are kind of just in generals. First CD that you guys bought with your own album, each of you.
Mine was the debut of Skid Row.
Oh, really?
Mine was We Are the World,
Oh, really?
maxi single.
Mine was NWA, straight out of Compton.
Nice. Next one. When did you guys know you wanted to be musicians? Like, was there a defining moment? Like, did you like open up an album cover one day and go, "Holy crap, I got to do that"?
I was like 2 or 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was 5. I remember my mom, she hosted one folk music band from Sweden, and then she taught me in Swedish to say, "I'm going to be a musician."
Okay. first and best concert you've ever been to?
First or best?
Both.
First concert. I can't remember the first. I've done a lot of drugs in my life. But, best Wings. Paul McCartney, when he came back to the States, he played Sam Boyd Silver Bowl Stadium in Las Vegas, my hometown, and that was actually one of the defining moments in my life as a musician. Yeah, like I remember thinking, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. What about you?
For me, the first was The Shadows when I was 4.
Wow.
My father was a big fan, and then the best, it needs to be U2 360 tour, what they did. I'm a big U2
That was a
fan.
huge thing.
That was great.
And my love for music started when I was a really young kid because my father was a cellist also, and he worked in the opera festivals in Finland. And I got to see opera when I was a really, really young child, and I fell in love with that drama. So that's the reason why I started want to play. The best gigs are always whenever I'm playing something.
Cool. One more real quick one before we go, real quick. What's next for you guys? Tour continues. Are you heading overseas? I know you guys are hitting all the big festivals.
Yeah, that's pretty much of it. Like Shadow Maker was just released, and next 2 years we're gonna tour on top of it. We're gonna have some 45 countries, roughly what we're gonna tour with now. First 1 month of North America, then Europe doing festivals, bigger like headlining tour in Europe, UK, Asia, Japan, Russia, back here. So
South America next spring.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
everywhere.
Cool. All right. Last thing, a message for your fans. What should they be expecting from you guys?
I think the message I would love to say is that I love music so much that please do come to love it with me.
Indeed.
Like, that's the biggest thing has been always. We have been following our hearts and try different things because of the flame of doing something together. And to get to share that feeling with the audience, there is an unbelievable connection which is kind of comforting in such an earth where everything is so shaky otherwise. So music is kind of relief.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for spending some time with me today. This has been Eric Hunger for the Front Row Report, where as always, we keep you on the front lines of music.